Everyone, welcome back to Play Casket on a very tragic week of your turn. That's right. Tech massacres and mobile closures and censorship. All abound this week, man. All abound.
I hate this.
So, we're gonna start with one that kind of hits close to Ghost's home, which is this mausoleum, so it's kind of weird that I don't feel anything about it, but, you know, we're gonna go with it. Destiny Child, a gacha style game, RPG type of thing for mobile, right?
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
fucking terrible, man. So, September is closing.
Well, it's closing in September.
Yeah. September 21st is the official kill date, I guess. July 20th was when they killed monetization, so no longer can you spend cash there, although everything's like basically free. It's like
right.
a coin, but they're gonna slowly start killing stuff off. Support is no more now, and yeah, they'll still have a memorial version, is what they call it. So we'll see what they do.
That's kind of tragic when you just call it a memorial version. Like, just like, here, play with the corpse.
Yeah, basically. So you can still download it, but there will be 0 updates, and you can't spend cash anymore. So, at the very least, if you've been a diehard fan or spent a lot of money, yeah, you can still see your waifus. But it's a sad fucking day for me.
So, for a lot of people who don't know, go ahead and break down what Destiny Child really was.
For the most part, it's like a dungeon crawler, but you have your 5 waifus, and you go beat up dungeons, and then there's like world events, which is like the really fun stuff because you get a world boss thing is like the coolest one because you have like the 20-man raid. There's a lot of like really cool, interesting builds and stuff like that. There's 5-man boss raids, and then there's like a grid style grind. I'll show it here if I'm not too lazy to look for it, but yeah, it's just like a waifu collectathon. I mean, to be fair, there is like way too many characters. I would like to see more events, but yeah, there's way too many characters.
Yeah. I will say this because when I heard about it after you were like done like sniveling and stuff like that, and I could actually like hear you pronunciate sentences. It actually felt like he was haunting me for a while. I'm like, dude, what the hell did I do to you?
It'll just be 30 minutes of me crying.
This is why we haven't gotten around to any other like projects for our recording yet, because he was just been crying for the last 3 days.
God, I love this game though. I played it like every day. I think I skipped like a month once because I wasn't really feeling it, but every day I played this game. And man, it's gonna be sad to see it go.
You know what? It caught me by surprise when you were telling me it closes quite literally just over a month.
Yeah,
like it's just over a month away. I'm like, whoa. I was like, even Dragalia Lost gave you 6-month warning. You know?
Yeah. Well, I don't know why they're doing it so soon because they announced it in the Asian. They like the Korean version. The Korean Twitter announced it before word got out everywhere, because I was like, oh, maybe they're just gonna kill off the Korean version, and then they're like, oh no, it's everywhere. I was like, oh shit. But shoot, my from what I've heard too is that they're looking to minimize their mobile market. So if anything, they're gonna focus on Nikkei sucks anyways. It's a copy. And what was the other game? Their action game right here. Yeah, this one. But they have 2 games they're still working on, but we're not going to see Destiny Child anymore. But it also goes to show like what's going to happen to mobile games going forward.
Yeah, so it's not just what's going on going forward. Like, this has been, honestly, for a lot of people who don't, like, a lot of people crap on the mobile market for a good reason, and this is one of them, basically. Did you know that there's, like, probably about 25 versions of Angry Birds? Do you know that you can only play, like, 3 of them now? Like, they just close them up. You can't download them and just play them offline. You have to be online in order to play them ever since the start of it, right?
Yeah.
That being said, even the very first Candy Crush, even the very second Candy Crush, all of those are gone. Like, you keep getting new versions that you just download and start again because it's basically the nature of the mobile market. It sucks.
Yeah.
Because
well, to be fair, it's also because it's just a cash grab. That's why you'll see like Heroes Summoner 5 because Hero Summoner 1's whale market dried up. So here's Hero Summoners 2, and once that dries up, there's 3 and 4. Shit like that.
Yeah, and it's gonna happen again and again. And there is gonna be little quirks and like, you know, attributes that the new game's gonna have and all that. But there's for the most part, there isn't other like a lot of these games, especially gacha games, when they get to, and it's not just the whale market drying up, it's sometimes just like you said for Destiny Child, they just got too much. There's just too many. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure you hit a cap on how to max level your one character.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm just sad that we're like, I think I don't know specifically, but we're so many events behind the Asian servers. I'm like, damn it. At the very least, it would have been nice to have been able to catch up to them and then they kill it. But I think they had like 2 or 3 years before we had it. So
right.
Azure Lane. The nice thing about Azure Lane was that they stacked so many events to catch the global server like all together. So there's like global and I think Asian. No, there's global, Japan, and China. I think
right.
The global
Southeast Asia,
and China.
Yeah.
And the Japan one was like way ahead of everybody, so they sped up everybody's events. So they just stacked a bunch of events and then everybody all cut up. So whenever an event releases in Japan, we get it like a week after or something like that. So.
Right. Yeah. So, but this is basically the bear market of mobile games. Literally, like even Dragalia Lost, which was still making Nintendo some money, was not making enough to know that trying to keep this thing up for a couple more years was not going to be financially stable.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I mean, there's games out there that released as a mobile complementary to a game that just recently releases. A good example is like your Bravely Default game that came out on the mobile when I think it was the last 3DS one came out, and that was it. You know, it was a gacha game, and it was out for a year, and then that was it. Goodbye.
Wow, I didn't even know they made one.
Yeah, but that's my point. Like, there's so many that comes and goes all the time. And when we've talked about mobile markets before, like, I want a game that gets me engaged. I have tried many of these gacha games that, like, as soon as I start seeing auto, dude, I'm immediately turned off by that thing. I'm like, I don't want to do this. Because basically, I don't need a game that plays for me just to catch me up to have a higher level character. Like, what's the point then? If I'm just going to hit auto again when you're more powerful. You know? That's why I only have, I think, only 3 games, right?
Yeah.
I have Brawl Stars, which I actually really enjoy. I do encourage people who ever want to try a mobile game. It's basically mobile MOBA without all the RNG bullshit. It's also really quick. I'm not going to try to praise it too much, but, you know, there it is. Pokemon Go, for those days where I'm actually out and about outside the mausoleum and I kind of just need something while I'm walking around. And on and off, not all the time, on and off, I have tried games like Raid Shadow Legends. I have tried Honkai Star Rail, Honkai Impact, Genshin Impact. Honkai Impact is garbage.
Well,
Star Rail's alright though. Like, so far I'm still enjoying Star Rail, but there is an auto on it, which, like, I'm at that point where I'm still enjoying the story and stuff like that. So I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to end up going into the auto grind, and I'm like, ooh.
Well, the thing is just like, is the core gameplay worth it? Mostly because like Nikkei's really, really cool, but to to get like your dailies in is such a chore. That's kind of why I'm like, I don't want to play DK anymore.
The gameplay loops in a lot of mobile games are just a grind. They're designed to kind of like consume your like whole time.
Yeah, until the grind is so high that you want to drop money on it, basically.
Yeah, like the grind gets so high. That's why I like Brawl Stars, because really like the only thing you get, and it's very similar to how League of Legends is. Everything's cosmetic that you buy from it. You can buy skins and all that. That's cool. You can buy little passes. That's cool. You know, I'm not praising it. I think I've only spent like $8 on it just to get a pass, and that's it. And I've gotten a couple for like kickbacks of those gems that they have there, and I just ended up buying another pass like several seasons later. But other than that, I've really not really spent anything on it, and I don't feel like I have to grind to get all of my dailies in and stuff, because they're really flexible on it. And I'm not saying, oh, you should try it all. I like it because that's how a mobile game should be. Like, oh, I'm waiting at the DMV. I think I have some time to kind of maybe squeeze in a round or two. You know, I hate those games, like especially a lot of MOBAs. Dude, MOBAs, you have to like set aside time for about an hour just in case the game goes long. You know, like that's why I loved Battle Right in Bloodline Champions when I used to play them too, because they were fast. They were like 15 minutes at the longest. I could get in a couple of game matches and then go cook. Or if I with this Brawl Stars, you know, I could play XYZ matches, and I could even play one. It's one match, about 5 minutes, and then I could just move on with whatever else I need to do, you know? And games like Destiny Child, games like most MOBA games now, they're all gotchas, collect your waifus, and the thing that's really garbage is once you get to that point where you're starting to wail hard on it, is almost at the same time they're looking at sunsetting the thing.
Yeah.
It happens so often in the mobile world. It is one of the, like, people who go, oh, I'm going to buy games digitally and stuff, or talking about how cloud gaming is going to be the future and you just got to deal with it. Dude, literally the mobile game market is exactly what you're going to be looking at on a grander scale. That's exactly what we're looking at.
Even now, too, I go back to look at other games, I'm like, oh, shit, they're not here anymore.
Yeah. There was a couple of games I remember that moved from Facebook onto just like traditional phones and stuff. And I just remembered it, and I'm like, is that game still around? Like, not even like, oh, like fond memories. I was just curious if it's still around, you know? And I'll Google it. No, it's gone. You know? But I was like, and I'll like look up. There was one that was one that I'm surprised that's still around to this day was My Singing Monsters. I remember when that thing was a Facebook game. Like, that was like, and I didn't even play it. I just remember it constantly seeing it. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, I guess. Like, it just seems like a child thing. And I Googled it. Dude, it's still around. It's still getting updates. It's like, I'm like, how? Dude, it's been around for so long. The Switch got a game for it. It's a Mario Party style game. But I was like, uh-oh. Like, that's a little crazy, you know?
Yeah.
But then there's games that are like, you thought that they're going to be so good, and they're not, you know? And there's a new one that's I'm seeing in my feed all the time on Twitter, and I'm seeing it on YouTube and stuff. It's called like Watcher of Realms, and it's from like the same guys. I forgot. I have to look it up again, but it's one of those. This might just last for about a year or two and then die promptly. Like, but they're like, oh, look at all my sexy ladies, and they're just doing the poses and stuff like they always do with all those mobile crap. And then you're gonna get on it, you're gonna collect your waifus, and then you're gonna realize you're in that same mental grind. You dropped like $70 on it, and then it's gonna be like, we're closing in August. And you're like, what the fuck? And you don't even get to keep it.
Yeah.
You know, they're not gonna go, we're gonna release an offline mode so you can just download it and use your, just make sure you download your account onto your phone and just have that stats, and then you can just play there, you know?
Well, they did that with Mega Man.
There's some companies that do that. I'm not saying they don't do that. I'm just saying I'm surprised a lot of these companies who have 3, 4, 5 years under their belt go, here's an offline mode now. Make sure you download your account before we close up shop, so you can still keep your characters and all that. Otherwise, you're SOL. But at the same time, if you have to get a new phone, that game's gone.
Make sure you back up everything.
You gotta make sure you push it off to like some hard drive or something. But if you're playing it and you drop it in a puddle, it's gone. That's just, it's just so weirdly like fickle the mobile market is. Like, really, don't spend too much money on mobile markets, guys. Don't ever do it. This is a cautionary tale.
No, Grand Blue Fantasy and Fate Stay Night. Right?
No.
Fate Grand Order. But
so what's going to go? But this is not the only thing we're seeing. Like a lot of staff execution and minimizing. We're seeing that across the whole tech industry.
The Great Tech Massacre. That's what I would call it.
So, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to kind of like talk on a grander scale on this, but
you see it first with Twitter, because like Musk killed off a bunch of staff or like fired a bunch of people, and then they were making fun of him, like, oh, look at Twitter firing so many people, and then all the journalists got laid off and nobody talks about it.
Oh no,
and Amazon laid off a bunch of people.
It's not that the journalists got laid off. It's that they're slowly getting laid off. Like almost every other week, we're seeing that. Oh, we're firing 30 more people here. We're firing 40 more people there. And it's every other week we're seeing it happen again and again and again and again and again. And all these people who used to get 6-figure salaries by telling me how stupid I am for exercising because that's somehow rooted in sexism. It's not doing it anymore, and nobody's reading their crap. Nobody's reading their rage clicks. Nobody's doing it anymore. Everyone's tired of it, and now they're like, "What am I supposed to do? I'm just an innocent journalist." Dude, they called me Gamergate for just being a dude who liked video games, and I had no idea what any of this was going on,
Yeah.
And then I'll turn around and I see like clips from like major news sites. They're saying gamers are the new horrible people out there.
Gaming is dead.
Gaming is dead. Gamers are dead. Why even bother? Because sexism's just rampant. I'm like, literally my existence, just breathing. Like, I'm just like, and then somebody's just gonna storm in my room. Could you not? Like, it's just, it was, all of this got to a point where nobody cares anymore. Have you ever noticed a lot of those polls, like even on Twitter, on Minds, on Gab? It's, would you rather have somebody who's a communist or a Nazi babysit your kids? And it's just predominantly Nazis now. Because they've used all these buzzwords for so long, they no longer have any. They no longer have any meaning.
Yeah.
And none of it has any meaning anymore. The only time it has meaning is the people who used to use it because they think that it's still so powerful. It's not anymore. Nobody cares. And you're starting to have a lot of people who are comparing my nose size to certain human nose sizes and having certain little noticing events in their early life stages in Wiki. Like there's a lot of this crap that's going on, and you wonder why everyone's getting fired.
Yeah,
because
so they're going around
none of their crap,
the fat.
Yeah, none of their crap matters. None of their crap matters, so they're just scooping up off all the foam from all this crap, which is just noise, and it's making our sauce bitter. Just scoop it out and they're tossing it aside.
Which reminds me about the
hashtag learn the coal mine.
Which reminds me about this Activision Blizzard thing too, because
oh yeah, so and we've gone a couple rounds, so we already know our opinions. But yeah, imagine what's gonna happen when they finally start like absorbing everything, and they're just gonna start cutting. Like, there's a lot of people that are out there right now going, this and this is not gonna happen because of this and this, because Microsoft's a completely different company now than they ever were. No, they been the same damn company for a while. face a lot of layoffs. They're going to lay off a lot. In fact, I almost feel like they're going to lay off people who have quote unquote questionable content on their social media. And when I'm saying questionable content, I'm talking about based memes.
I don't know. I think they're going to get rid of like the useless positions first.
They're going to probably they're going to be hiring their own diversity hires. Because have you not seen any of the other companies?
Well, because like after you make such a huge acquisition, you gotta see where you gotta start saving money. Mm-hmm. So first they'll offer technically bribes. Like, hey, he wants to pay out to quit, but you'll never be able to work in the industry ever again. Mm-hmm. Those people will buy out. And then heads will start rolling after that. Mm-hmm. So,
and then on top of that, they're probably gonna fire a lot of people who are quote unquote questionable to the ESG, and then they're gonna be like, sweet ESG dollars, and they're just gonna fill it in with a lot of people who don't even know how to code. Are like, are you cross-eyed? Come on board. Like, it's gonna be bad, dude. Holy crap! If we thought Activision was bad, wait till you see that they gut it out. It's not even going to be like Activision Blizzard underneath Microsoft's going to be bad. It's just going to be like, you're going to look at it and go, the hell happened to you, bro?
Yeah.
Like, it's not even going to be like, hey, remember that jackass in high school? You're going to look at that jackass in high school at your like 20th year reunion, and you're like, dude, Mother Nature was not kind to you.
Because things went so well for Rare. Things went so well for
343.
343.
Arcane Studios. Double Fine Entertainment. Here's like Double Fine. Like, people are like, oh man, we're gonna have all this. They only put a bunch of Double Fine games on the Game Pass. We have not heard squat since.
Yeah.
That's it. We have not heard squat since.
So I think this is more of a IP acquisition rather than
it's an IP squat. That's what it is. They're making what is considered a Game Pass nest egg. So basically, why make new games when I can just force you all to just buy our Game Pass on a service thing and slowly drip feed you eventually? Because I feel like they're acquiring so many games and so many companies that you're just buying into Game Pass because it's easier to access all those games. And then when you're finally so well invested into it, they're going to be like, guess what? It's all on the cloud now.
Suck it, Sony.
It's going to not just suck it, Sony. Like, as soon as it hits the cloud, it's going to be like, suck it, gamers. Like, I guarantee you the whole, once they're like, oh man, everything's on the cloud, I can't leave my stuff. It's not your stuff anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good price for now, but yeah, I'm still extremely cautious about what they're gonna pull.
Oh, dude!
Well, just look at Netflix, because I think every Halloween, all the Halloweens come off of Netflix.
Yeah,
because they want you to go buy the DVDs, and then
no, it's not even that. Like, Disney removes all the Halloween and Christmas stuff throughout the rest of the year because they want you subscribing when they release Nightmare Before Christmas during Halloween time. Like, oh my god, I gotta get back on that because they're not gonna have. They have already said that they're looking at not making a physical release of Nightmare Before Christmas this year.
Yeah.
What the hell? That's stupid. But yeah, Microsoft's acquisitions and the gutting that's going to happen, I swear, dude, the Activision's going to look like a shell of what it used to be. We're going to see like maybe 3 or 4 of their studios close.
Yeah.
And you're going to see PopCap Games just called Microsoft Cap Games. Microcap. But yeah, and then on top of that, since you said Sony a while ago, we're
Suck it, Sony.
Sony we kind of predicted this was going to happen a long time ago. So Sony, we all knew. Let's go back several years. I think it's 2017 when Sony was like, you know what? Fuck Japan. It's too good of us. We need to go and move over to California because that's where the hoes at. And they did. And they got hosed. And
then they censored Senran Kagura at the last minute and fucked their sales.
They changed their policies that they're going to start becoming more, what was it? They phrased it like they're going to be more alert or something like that about the content in which they provide on their system, which basically meant that they're going to start censoring stuff. And the immediate reaction was they went after stuff such as Senran Kagura, which was very recent, was very focused on.
It was going to release that week. And then
I'm sure
they put in the TOS in. So
no, they got delayed first. It got delayed first, so they can put that shit in there. It got delayed by like 3 months or something like that, and it got released censored.
Are you sure? I was watching.
I remember.
it.
No, I remember them saying, "Look, we gotta delay this because we gotta make adjustments because they couldn't just patch it in." But they also apparently messed with a couple other, basically anime cultured games, as it were, and they were not even as big as Senran Kagura. Everyone was focusing on Senran Kagura at the time, and everybody was like, all the weebs were up in arms for good reason.
Yeah,
you know?
and you see all the righteous moral bastards wagging their fingers. That's not a hill to die, or is that a hill you want to die on?
Yeah,
and then,
but the thing is, what was funny was that like the people who were calm, like, you do know this was a thing, and the thing is, it was funny. It's like, well, this obviously doesn't matter because they have, what was it? The Last of Us have that scene. It's like, see, they didn't really change anything. I'm like, well, usually when you slam two piles of mud together, it's not considered sexual. So I'm pretty sure that's why it got passed. But yeah, it's just we kind of predicted it was going to start feeding into the indies and stuff and start forcing the indies to do stuff. And sure as shit, what is it, 5 years down the road, the game called LiSA, a very weird cult classic game, a game inspired by like the Mother series and stuff, similar to how Undertale was, but more of a darker and grittier approach. It's a messed up game. If you're into that like self-reflection type games, it's a pretty good one to go with. But
it's supposed to be gritty and dark. And
it's supposed to be very gritty. It's supposed to be very drug induced. It's supposed to be like, it has a lot of other stuff with it that is just insane.
And then they give it the 4Kids censorship.
And they gave it straight up the 4Kids censorship. Like, not, and I'm not even like pussyfooting around this. Like, it's straight up. It's
drugs are
candy cigarettes. Drugs are not even mentioned anymore. The gentleman who was nude now wears shorts. Like, it is a 4Kids censorship. Like, it is legitimately. That's not the type of
hill you want to die on now, is it?
It's not.
It's just drugs.
It's just
drugs.
It's just indies. It's not like it's a major release.
It's not going to affect you. You can still play it with its full context.
Yeah. So LiSA's getting censored. Yay that! And
we fucking warned you,
dude. It's not gonna stop there. Like, we already see the uglification of their own characters too. Like, and that's not even censorship. That's a design choice. They are going out of their way to make it not very attractive.
Well, you look at Aloy, and that they made her like. You see the original one, and they made her purposely uglier, and they're
she looks diabetes.
No. She's in post-apocalyptic. She's supposed to look hideous. Like, man, if I was the actor, I would have been like, no, don't use my face.
I am a goblin. I am gross as shit. If somebody told me to voice a very handsome dude, I will fucking do it. Like, I will. I'll do it for free.
Yeah,
straight up. But you know, we're not that popular to ever get that type of job. So you know, I'm safe to say that. Woo.
Not yet.
So yeah. So censorship, gutting, firings, and closing of games. It's been a rough week this week. So let's hope for next week being better.
I hate this week.
So I'd like to thank you all for listening to everything that we have. If you like our content, feel free to like, subscribe, and share, as always. And, you know, I just ended up messing up the whole thing. So anyway, as always, we will see you on the other side. Hey everyone, this is Paraka.
And Ghost.
I would like to say thank you for listening to our podcast.
If you like our content, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe and share our video with your friends.
You can also follow and support us on other social media such as Minds and Rumble. Links in the description below.